Hello, hello, Imaginary Villain here, and it's once again time to get down to some game dev. Well, okay, last time it was mostly just me playing with graphics. I guess it does count as game dev, but there wasn't a lot of hot coding action last time. It was mostly like, ooh, shiny, new interface stuff. I kept poking at that, and it just led to some awkward times here of me spending like 3 hours playing with it. Getting closer and closer to Diablo. The quest system looks good, but the rest of it looks a little off, I think. But I'll keep tweaking with it. I mean, probably that perfect. I think I'm of the opinion that the story is just not going to be included in the first version of this. I'm just going to leave it out. I really just want to get sound effects done. And then I think that's it. Like, if I don't have to do any kind of intro plot at this point, the game could just be out ASAP. Yeah. Because I was originally going to have an introduction thing and some general chat thing there. I do have to update this to different boss names because this dialogue is already in. I need to make that. Maybe I make a quick thing for Miranda there if you save her in the prototype, but the overall... I guess I do include those. The only thing I wouldn't really include is the introduction thingy. I could also work on that. It's going to take some additional writing. I need to settle on how I want my lore to be. I'm 100% certain that that human Poppet gets, goes to Weeping Shadows, which is a city that's not too unlike San Francisco. She's new to the new world. It's some great adventure. She's far too curious for her own good. She's probably about 18, 19. Best way to put it, I think. Goes down the wrong street and happens to basically be killed off by the Toymaker, who, just shoots her from behind and then carries her body off to the mansion to put her soul in a doll, for reasons that the Toymaker never really tells anybody, but will become apparent as time goes by. So I basically just need to describe Weeping Shadows and the whole overall thing there, and I guess I have that going. It doesn't have to be perfect, I suppose. But then there's the intro thing there. Like, the first sequence of pictures needs to be put in there. So I need dialogue for that written. And something that one of the big problems I have right now is a timeline here. It can be two ways here. Either Poppet is freshly dead and is new to the attic, or she's been there a while and is still just kind of being jarred out of the curse by having been moved. Which I think is probably there. I guess I just make the assumption that she's never going to get her body back, which honestly I don't think she ever needs to. That seems kind of like, if in the second scenario she could have been dead for so long that her body would be useless and there's no way to revive her. Or in the first scenario there could be that whole you have this much time to save yourself that scenario. But I mean, if she's already been shot and basically killed or whatever, or mortally wounded and then her soul's been stolen from her body's basically done for anyway. It's probably decomposing in short order. Even after a couple of days of that, the body would be pretty gross. After all, just think of it like a fresh corpse just sitting somewhere for a couple of days. If you didn't put that in refrigeration, rules. But even then, the damage to the body and everything like that, the damage to her brain and everything. So I think that I just settled on that when I went through the actual science of it, by basically saying that she's been dead a while. And if there's any way for her to get her body back, it would have to be a magically created body. Which I'm not sure that kind of magic exists in this particular world. I mean, there's magic in the world. Clearly, you can't steal souls and put them in dolls if there isn't some sort of craziness going on. Well, at least talking it through really helps. It's a lot of what these streams do. Like, by saying it out loud, I basically focus my thoughts a lot. Okay, so I just need to fix these things like that. I could reverse the order of the pictures and then just have them tell a quick story of what happened during the day without Tinka being there. It would save a lot of writing. I'm worried that the prototype will be too much stuff that isn't necessary for a prototype. Yeah, that's really all I need to do. Anyway, last time on RPGMaker Dev Hell. Actually, it was kind of fun. I stayed up an extra couple hours streaming purely, even with like people watching me for the last hour, just because I was enjoying it so much. So sometimes I really do enjoy this task. Like for all that weird stuff goes on, I enjoy the task. I'll have to turn off all the unlocked things like that. I have never balanced the game, so that's a problem. I also have to clean up the game and remove all the extra files and everything that just doesn't need to be there. When in the previous version, I switched her life bars to this, heart and a, magical mirror there. I shrunk these down and moved them closer, so it now takes up far less space. Also, her spirit bar is this picture. So, I can't decide if I like the spirit bar in the center. I might kind of do it in a way. But it really feels like that should be centered in the screen or something like that, and then these abilities should be somewhere else. I don't know. I think I have a different way to do her voice too. Also, I have heart up there for the boss. I just got rid of the numbers. A lot of the numbers seem kind of weird. Like, there's still numbers for where things to click and everything, but other than that, it's like I just thought they weren't very clean. Also, the quests over here, they're smaller and a little better. That font might be a little tough to read. I might just have to abandon my favorite font. I don't know. At some point, the reason why the other fonts are so popular is because they just are so readable. That's a thing. I also need to probably rebalance these. This doesn't like cost mana, does it? It does, okay. It just doesn't cost a lot, but she also has a lot of mana at this point, so that's a thing. Well, I need to rework the menu a bit. Do I? Maybe I'll add it to the list. I don't know. It doesn't seem necessary because it does kind of cover everything. Rework menu. It also has lost a lot of its function at the moment because there's no leveling up of the abilities yet. So these descriptions are wrong. I do need to fix the descriptions. They seem wrong. Actually, this heal needs to be fixed. Heal doesn't mention regenerate. Fix descriptions. Heal doesn't mention regenerate. I think the rest of them are actually all fine. Ice Blast time is wrong. Ice Blast. Frozen time is too long. Let's see. Poison time is too long. And then maybe a replacement sound for Magic Blast. She was saying fire over and over. It's really tedious to hear her say fire over and over and over. But having no sounds feels even weirder to me. Like, oops. Yeah, without a sound, it feels like it should have something. I need something for that. I just can't leave it as it is. They're saying fire every few seconds seems really bad though. Oh, I guess we'll start with the descriptions and then I'll switch to the other. Because yeah. Why not? Oh, I see what the problem is. It's in how I wrote these, right? Um, where is Ice Blast? Yeah, status duration. Actually, it's in status menu. I can just get status duration. I don't need the rest of this, right? So. Wait, Lightning Storm might actually do 11 seconds. What I need is Ice Blast in those. Don't change the one that's correct. That's weird. Don't do that. We'll say Holy Light, even though it's not really particularly holy. Did I use status duration for it too? Let's see. Oh, I wrote this weird. Or did I? Oh, it should just be time. It just didn't have a time variable before, but... Alright, so... I think that's all the descriptions to worry about. Let's do a quick test of those and see if the descriptions read correctly, and if they do, works for me. And it's just play with sound effects just so I can, you know, kick this out the door. I foolishly errored it by trying to move the screen before it actually fully loaded. RM does not like when you do that. I could put the VS plugin back in and mess with the options. That would be an idea. I don't know. Oh, I don't need to go in there at all. I can just do this. Undefined, huh? Did heal work? Block's description is weird. I'm gonna do the exact thing how it plays out. It's a lot easier for spell sets it because I can have Self variables. If it's a common event, it doesn't work very well like that, so. We'll just say 1 second. I don't think the block's going to change. So let's do this. Just don't block that. I need a. Let's see. Second. No. Oh, it's already within one of these. What am I doing? Just say 1 second on that. The block doesn't even have a cost. None of those can stay. It'll definitely be unfinished. When does it set status duration exactly here? I'll just write it. I'll hard write it for now. So poison is 5 seconds. I don't even need variables necessarily. I could actually just hard write them, but I was doing multiplication to make it. See, it doesn't spawn a poison point. Projectile. Poisons the target. I did make some random changes to these things here. Ice Blast lasts how long? It's ghetto, but I'm not going to spend a bunch of time making a new system just for that. When I want to kick this out the door. Projectile freezes the enemy. That. Yeah, part of me wants to use a different font, but I don't know. I did save this right. I'm not stupid. Okay, I did save it. Okay. I definitely need to kick this out the door.
Are you ready?
Holding off on it just costs me momentum, and that seems really bad. I think this Saturday, no matter what, I'm kicking it out the door. That means I need to basically decide that all things I'm going to do on it are going to be done Friday, and then I'll clean the file up and remove all the extra crap that isn't involved. I got a lot of things in there that are just experimental things that aren't going to be necessary for people to download. Whole characters that I don't need. And then I'll write the stuff for the itch.io page. Because, you know, at this point, it's just... I postponed it for weeks for whatever reason, just because I'm like, oh, I'll just add this, and add this, and add this. No. No.
I sense danger.
I want to see if this project has any legs on it before I waste my time beyond that. Because the engine could just be not enough for people to be interested in it. Also, I mean, the first game dev thing you try is usually never going to be that amazing anyway, so... It's a much better game than when it was in the game jam, that is true. A lot of things have been vastly improved. It's bordering on a real system here, so... Yeah, it's definitely better. It's not balanced or anything of the sort, but... what was I even looking for? Oh, I was checking these. Why did I even run into this map? That's a weird glitch that happens every once in a while if you double hit the menu, but that's okay. Sure. Time 5 seconds. Perfect. Perfect. You know, I should just say heal and regenerate the player. Eels and regenerate the player. Sounds like an awful spell. Heal and regenerate the player. Not what I was aiming for, but thanks. So we'll do that. Because no one said that, like, we haven't really established any kind of holy presence in this. It seems kind of an extra thing there. Yeah, it definitely needs, I'll probably get hit enter on that. Eh. Yeah, this font is just, it's really hard to read that thing there. Even though I like the font, I don't know. I'm really debating on it here. Oh. Yeah, it'll do for now. It's just the prototype that I'm releasing, so the game's not going to be perfect. I wouldn't expect it to be perfect if it's just a prototype. That's weird. Why is this on there? Are you actually under the effects of that? I don't know. Does that give a free copy of that? Huh. Okay, well that's not okay. Yeah, hit escape, do this, boom, free star armor. It's kind of a broken thing to give them for free. Okay, well, what's turning star armor on? Just turn the menu on, then become invincible. Good plan. I think we're all just gonna go in and out of the menu. Look, we broke the whole game. So we're looking for switch 128. 128 being switched anywhere in here? It is not an okay result. Well, the only way it's done is there, right? Unless there's actually, is the word star armor anywhere in here? Of course it is, but that's not the star armor I'm looking for. When you exit the menu, what happens? This thing is a catastrophe in every conceivable way. That's okay, though. Huh. It does run WinCon. Is 128 used here for any reason? Well, as a Y coordinate, but that's not going to do it. Okay, I gotta test that. I need to see if that switch is on. I need to figure out what I'm looking for. I can't let the player just go into the menu and come back out and stay invulnerable for X seconds. That's broken. That's so good. That's exactly not what I want. I make Star Armor the best spell ever. And a tedious spell to use at the same time. Just poor game design.
Are you ready?
The more I do this, the more there's just weird little bugs that are just present in this incredibly complicated system of code. I can see why all these other games would have problems over the years. You know, it's game dev really changes your opinion of things. So F9, F8, actually. I guess I should have done F9. Alright, so the switch that we're looking for is 128. I could have just checked the other thing, I think, but I didn't. Yeah, sure enough, Star Armor is on. Okay, well, let's do some investigation on where Star Armor's being mentioned, because that ain't good. Huh. So I guess we'll look at Auras and Effects mentions it. Oh, it doesn't have anything on there, so it's irrelevant. So you hit escape and it runs status menu. Well, the only thing that even affects it at all is that nothing else is an actual. There's no common events it runs or anything of the sort. Changing one value isn't going to change another. Setting a P emitter would have nothing to do with that. So 0 has got to be where it's happening. How is Star Armor being turned on? Well, I can do a console log at each point and then when Star Armor turns on. But the boss is active, so it's going to run. It checks for wind to set to true. Why am I setting wind to true every single time it's over? I guess it doesn't matter because it removes this quest, so. I mean, those aren't the right ones, so. It's always these weird bugs that are the hardest to figure out. Event 2. Wait, what? I was thinking event 65. Just to double check, we're using 248, right? Like, we're not. It's actually under spells, right? Yeah, 248. Well, that means I don't need you, so... Let me check and see if 65 was being used anywhere. A volume set there, but that's not what I want. I had to clean up all these plugins of all the comments and everything. That's just a catastrophe. Let's game variables out value. It's not a spawning an event of any sort. Huh. Well, if you remove all the locations it can show up at, clean positive status could potentially run. Did I program this weird? It's probably under player. Oh, because clean positive status would remove it. Wouldn't actually run it at all. That's weird. Huh. Oh. Definitely had some did not agree with me. Excellent. It's more fun that way. Oh, hey, Blinded Journeyman. You're here early. Good morning to you as well. Right now I'm trying to solve a mystery of why when you leave the menu, the player ends up invincible. Because it's turning on a spell that's, well, makes you invincible. But unless it actually runs this particular event or turns on this switch, it should never happen. I'm so close to releasing this prototype too. I mean, I just need to add in a few more sound effects and then maybe tweak a little dialogue. If I don't include the actual intro story, then it would just be ready to be released immediately. Except for there's just one bug here. Oh. Well, I've definitely been there. They can't sleep, so I just brainstorm. Of course, usually what it means is laying in bed for an hour thinking on way too many things going, all right, you win. I can't sleep now. I tried to catch a nap before the stream. That's what happened, so... So I've been there. But that's when the best ideas come up. 3 a.m. ideas, like, well, at least that for me, it's almost 3 a.m. Actually, it's 2:35 a.m. Those are the best ideas. Those are the weird ideas. Those are the ideas where sleep has completely taken your brain, but you're somehow still awake. And then you program those in, and then the next day you show up and go, why did I do that? That's terrible. That doesn't work at all. And you spend the next day trying to make the idea work. You're like, I guess I'll make it work. I thought it was a good plan at the time. I have a whole game that's a testament to that phenomenon. And that is why I'm working on this game and not that one. Yes. Yes, indeed. Alright, we're going to do this the sad way. I'm also going to just remove all this extra crap. It's not happening anymore. I don't need all these extra comments. Kept them with the intention of one day doing something with them, and I just never have. Ah, the projectile plugin. Was it Gal's projectile plugin or a different one? $28. Yeah, I did some editing to Gal's map projectiles so that it would be more useful than what it is, and then ended up dropping it. It's kind of cool, but at the same time, I don't know. It required a whole separate damage system set up just for it. It was too much trouble. It did work very well though when I had it all set up. Oh yeah, what I ended up doing was using self variables in all the projectile commands, and then I would call a common event for each one that wanted to use a particular pattern. So this way I didn't have to keep redoing the pattern or copy and pasting anything. I wonder if I still have those. They got ridiculous. I might still have them. If not in this, I have them somewhere else. Movement patterns. No, it's projectile patterns. Yeah, like I had a loop and it went through and did like for every direction, and it just went through and I will post this one in the chat just to show you how ridiculous it was. Oh, I can't even post it in the chat because it actually is too long. All right, well, we'll just cut it off halfway there. Let's see. Where is halfway so that it'll fit? You can only put 200 characters in the chat. I didn't know this. Yeah, that was my Galv map projectiles thing there, and I would just sit there and run through each one doing different self variables. Yeah, I imagine it did reduce the spammers. Though at this point they can spam away because, I mean, it's not like I have that many people chatting here. I don't need to worry about the spam. In fact, I want them to spam because Google just goes, or YouTube goes, oh my gosh, look at all that participation. Let's pump his stream out more to everyone. So spam away. I actually increased the chat thing so it goes all the way up the side so people could spam things all the way up the side if they want. One guy was so happy. He just was spamming emotes all day. I'm like, okay, whatever works, buddy. But yeah, I ran that particular code inside of this fine loop right here where I basically just had a count. And I was changing the self variable on this count here, right here. So the first self variable here was changing and it went through all the directions by just adding one, and then once it got past 9, it just broke the loop. Thus effectively allowing me to have this one command do that, and then all these other self variables were because I wanted to have different, have each different event call their own thing. So each event would have like all those self variables set for it on its first page, like I do with show you. Move something there. Redo that. I want that deleted. There is no redo. I forgot. It's this. Yeah, you see on these things here, or on the first thing there on the first page, I will set every single self variable that matters to it. And later on, I actually push the self variables to a plugin purely out of laziness of typing it. So all of the things have this now as well. But since they all have it, now it just sets it in a plugin. But yeah, I found it to be the best way to do it if you want to get really complicated. and have your common events do everything for you. Or the ones I did, like a multi-shot. And that one I didn't actually do as many different things. I just used a different projectile image, this event ID. And then the action, that has self-variable for each one for the action. And then the Z, because my game uses all sorts of different Zs. A different projectile number depending upon which one we're talking about. A size difference. I added in the ability to use my own lighting plugin with the galves thingy, because I got tired of them basically just not emitting light. And then I added the ability to send additional information to common events. So this way it knew how much damage was applied by things. But it required a whole separate set of common events to handle that. It was just, I ditched it purely out of it was too so complicated. Or fan shots. This was actually the least tech thing I did here, where I just had, you know, the 3 directions here, and based upon the direction, I just set them. And then right here, I just ran 3, and one was for D1, D2, D3. That was it. That was the low-tech solution. This way, they could just, you know, based on the direction, do a fan shot at the player. Yeah. For a while, I was even using that projectile to hit the space right in front of an enemy. So this way, it would act as though, like a collision check. I used that plugin a lot. It was weird. I went wild with it. But you lose a lot of control with it. And it feels like a half-finished plugin. As much as I love Galv stuff, that plugin could definitely use a bit of work. On the other hand, it was free, so, you know. If I ever make money on my games, I'm going to go through and, like, hand money to people like Galv. Just, you know, donate to them a bunch and be like, here you go. Thanks for all I learned from you. All right. Don't do that. That is not what I was intending to do here. We're at the point of console logs because somewhere along the line it's tripping 128 and I want to know where. Only when exiting the menu though. Yeah. I definitely went pretty wild with that plugin. It's such a good plugin. Of course now there's the there's that free action RPG plugin set that that GGG released, and I'd almost recommend everyone just play with that rather than make their own system. Unless you really want to make your own system, but I mean, it starts you off so close to being ready to go. Oop, 211. The entire point of this particular thing here is to literally tell me which line is mysteriously flipping that switch, because I have not been able to figure out any line that could do it. I don't think puzzle menu even does anything, right? Does it? Wait a minute. What does DM puzzle menu do? It's a throwback from the other game. Nothing? Did I delete puzzle menu? I think I did. Unless I moved it over. I think I moved it over, actually. I did. Yeah, this doesn't even do anything. This doesn't even need to be here. It might get put back in, but for now. Let's put this down there. I will figure out exactly where this thing flips. Okay, let's test this out. Well, that sounds exciting. I'm all about trolls. you control people, it's pretty much the best thing ever. So you just doing rolling releases on your game, or you like just, you know, here's this version, try it out, guys, and then here's this version, try it out? Basically like what I want to do with this game but haven't yet. Use 100 plus times to spam open OP spell. Actually, to spam OP spell, crystallize and check body armor cutscene. Oh, cool. Well, it's good someone's actually releasing the their project like they're supposed to. I wish other people who will remain nameless would do the same. Yeah, uh-huh.
I sense danger.
What was I testing here? Oh, I'm testing this. That did not do what I thought it was going to do at all. Wait a minute. Puzzle 202. Oh yeah. Probably include credits. It's definitely a thing. This sets it up. Oh. Oh my god, did I really just do that? I did do that. That's because that event's so similar to the other one. Alright, this was stupid. I made a dumb victory page that I cut out of the game, but it's still got code down there, and I just sat there and put this under that one instead of the actual status menu, which is why it didn't work. This is where I need to clean the code up really badly. And why I shouldn't have tried so many different things at once, and should have just went with what was working. There has to be a subsystem doing what I need it to do here, or doing something weird. I don't think Gameplay or Transparent would do it, but maybe it does. Sure, whatever. Puzzle menu is a thing that exists. Now this is only if the switch is true, and then WinCon would happen. Does puzzle menu have anything that could possibly do that? I wasn't aware of it actually doing switches at all. It just adds pictures and removes them. Alright, well. I had a bunch of friends to pass games out to. Suckers, you know, who, oh, sorry, loyal friends who will try out any terrible idea I come up with at 3 a.m. I have one who would probably test it out. Like, once or twice, and then probably never test it again. He probably doesn't want to be used as my guinea pig.
Are you ready? I sense danger.
Alright.
Don't even try.
What happened when all that happened? It was true from the start. That was unexpected. Tokusatsu shows? What is a tokusatsu show? I have not heard this name before. I can get behind spooky and funny, though. That sounds nice. Reserve common event 40. Weight count 2. Okay. Special effects those from Japan. Huh. Maybe I'll have to check them out or something. So status menu is on. Do this. So somewhere in here is this is the culprit. Status menu set up -1. Let me check something here. Go ahead and wear off star armor. Okay, and then check here. Now, just game switches. 128. Okay, so the first thing actually turned it on. Gold Swordsman Hunt Shadow Beasts. That could be like almost every RPG in the world. So many RPGs would fall into that. Oh, Japan, never change. Even your horrors are like that. Have you ever seen Ghost Stories? It's not actually one of those types of things, but the English version of Ghost Stories is an amazingly funny thing. Where they literally just said, you know what, voice actors? You can just say whatever you want. As long as you don't change the base story, you can make whatever comments you like, and it is so funny, the things they say. Much of which would probably be crucified on Twitter for these days, but worth watching. Oh, yes. So where in this does it turn on 128? This event's not as long as I think it is. So menu close, we'll keep that. This event needs a serious cleanup. Oh my god. Look at how much crap is on it. It's insane. I think I kept this for a reason, that particular one, but it's not doing anything, so. Okay, it's much longer than I thought. Fair enough. So the plan is, I'm gonna do it in smaller groups here. I already know. Where did I stop the numbering of the other one? Okay, we'll just number it that way then from continuing on. So 15. I guess I'm going to do that. I'm not going down each one. I'm going to narrow it down. A lot of these things don't seem like they could actually do this, but as far as I could tell, this error is that nowhere's actually flipping the switch. I can't find a single instance of this switch in anything. Except for the spell that turns it on, of course, but that shouldn't be the problem. Probably. English dub of a certain anime? Oh. You know, listen, I'm just gonna say Ghost Stories because I don't care. It exists. It's great. I've seen it more than once. By the end, I was really sad to see it end. I was like, no. Why? Why can't they have made multiple seasons of this anime that would have been absolutely terrible had they not, you know, just done Mad Libs with it?
Are you ready? I sense danger.
Right, so we do this. And it's at false. Every single one of these. But when you jump out, it's at true. What in the world? The anthologies can be a fun niche. I mean, they're not the worst. Okay, so it goes all the way to 26 and does nothing. And then it runs a switch and goes through all these and then ends. And all the way through 26, it does not flip the switch. But by the time we do the menu close here, the switch has been flipped. Okay. Usually when you go down the list of all your code like that and put console logs, you can usually find exactly where it is. But no, not the case at all. So this is the event that runs. Status menu is on. Oh my god, are we really going to run down these two? I guess we are. I realize the status menu is pretty complicated, but really? Really? We stopped at 26. Alright, so 27. Where does this switch get tripped? This is if combat is on here. I'm just going to do one at the end of that. I don't want to check each chain of that. I don't think it can even get flipped here, but I'm going to go ahead and put it in here anyway. Just to see where it doesn't work. This is such a persistent error. I haven't had an error this obnoxious since the error where one of my if statements just, it would try and it would fail. So the code was just randomly breaking even though the if statement would run neither section of it. It was just like, well, it's done. We don't care if it's true or false. It will run neither. And I'm like, what? And it would run the code after and things. It was just trying and failing on this if statement, which was so bizarre. I think it took like an hour and a half to figure out what was happening. But this is JavaScript. It just does that sometimes. It just doesn't like things. So it gets feisty. It's that language you love to hate.
Don't even try.
Alright, so... let's let it run out real quick. I did enter the menu again really quickly before that was done. Alright. Enter the menu. Upon entering the menu, where I'd enter the menu at. So from 29 to 30, it becomes true. What happens between 29 and 30? Well, this sets a camera thing. This just sets through and has them jump to a variable. Okay. How these commands could possibly change it, I have no idea. None of them involve setting a variable at all, except this one here. But this is... the variable in question is 128, not 29. So... what the... the status menu finished is off, does something else. Oof. This one's a puzzler, to say the least. Maybe switch 128 isn't even mentioned anywhere in there. Well, let me run the test for the... really narrow it down here. Now that we've settled on the 3 commands that cause the problem. Could it be someone's weird camera plugin that sets it? Oh my god, could you imagine that? If this entire problem was caused by a camera command? Ugh, I hate using people's plugins.
Are you ready?
As the mouse goes the wrong direction as usual. I still have to fix that plugin. I'm just going to release the prototype with that bug. That plugin is going to be a monster.
I sense danger.
I can already tell that's going to not be what I want to do with my life. I've already messed with it before, that's how I know. It's just not pretty.
Try.
Right, so what happened there when I did that really fast menu thing? Wait, what? I just went through all those and did false. And then 25, 26 ran and it was true. There was a weird glitch there. I'm gonna try it again real quick here. We'll let it run out and do it again. Between 30 and 31 it switched. Okay. A set movement route changed it? Really? A set movement route changed it. Really? I mean, proof is in the pudding, I guess. Toggle skip. Try it again. Let's see if it doesn't cause the error now. I'm at a loss how that telling it to move to a location can do that unless the code in the actual plugin is foobarred somehow. It's not even my plugin that we're dealing with here, so
Are you ready?
it's gonna be fun. Huh. This is the fun part of game dev, where you sit like they spend there all night trying to solve some ridiculous bug that just doesn't make any sense how it's being caused. Also, the menu is really fast there. 1 second, we'll wait. Well, that's weird. Apparently that command's the only keeping it from waiting. Does it need like a wait command in here? Otherwise it just runs too fast? Sure, let's put a wait command in there. Wait a second. Yeah, apparently I programmed it such a way without any wait times due to the fact that, you know, all wait times keep everything from doing what they're supposed to do, so I don't usually like to use a lot of them. And apparently, without that movement route acting as a wait time, it just executes too fast. That's a real problem I have in JavaScript a lot. Try to be too quick, too efficient.
Be ready.
Hmm.
I sense danger. Don't even try.
Okay, as best I can conclude, it's not actually that command that's doing it. But it's happening during that time period. Because all it's doing right now is waiting 60 frames. So somehow Star Armor's being turned on. Star Armor only appears in these 3 events. Clean positive status literally removes Star Armor. And anything else. That's the whole point of it. It cleans the positive statuses. But I'll double check it just in case. It's probably under player, isn't it? Yeah, it turns Star Armor off. And sets its timer to 0. And deletes the emitter. So that's not the problem. Or if in effects, and then clean positive stat, well, just actual Star Armor itself. So where in Aura in effects is it even mentioned? This particular event exists to basically track the location of things, and then just update the player and everything like that, and if things are damaged and stuff like that. It's more complicated in Art because Art did all the damage calculations for everything, whereas this one doesn't have to do that. Star Armor's just right here, and it literally has nothing. I don't need it then. Okay, it's listed 2 places. Usually you can find every answer to the thing there when by just simply going, oh, if I just check the console every single command, you'll figure out exactly where it is, but wow. Wow. Anyway. I hate bug solving. Not only is it boring content, but it's tedious for me.
Are you ready?
Maybe I'll switch to the other engine after this thing here. I don't even know. I grow tired of RM. So much work to make anything do anything. Anyway. Yeah, right there. It just does Star Armor. Ow. And it runs it a bunch of times too, but I mean, that's fair because the command's running. So it's a timing thing. That's when you set up -1. No, well, that runs like that, right? And -1 does which numbers? Like it's already on by the time -1 happens, right? Yeah. Why in the world do I have an if page equals -1? Wouldn't it make sense if it was just switch page in those case -1? Is there a reason for that? Because -1 would then run through all these things, right? Let me do a test here. It does not seem like it's necessary to run all this, but maybe I set it up that way for a reason. I mean, I guess when it runs through this, it could run through all these. And then it would find potentially an option that doesn't work. There's a break at the end of everyone's, right? Because you can have that happen. Where it just runs the next one if you don't include the break. So I've done that. And then... everything I'm not using is just getting removed at this point. I'm not going to keep everything. Where would it even be happening there? Like, actually, I'm not sure that would even do it because where it's happening is like not even there. It happens between 30 and 31. And that is literally in this other command here. Now, I guess something could have been triggered and it would take some time to go off. I can only surmise that this is the thing here. Let's just toggle a skip on -1 here. I'm curious. Sure, it'll break the menu completely, but if that's the case, we'll finally have some idea of where the problem is happening. Oh, the stream is not popular tonight at all. Oh well, you know, I got a little watch time in there, I guess. I don't know. Probably should chat with people more. Makes me want to just play games instead. It's easier to chat with people playing a game than it is to chat while solving any complicated problem. Plus, for a lot of people, it's not that interesting, I guess, to have these game sets there. So I could just be wrong on the whole concept. Then again, I've seen massive growth over time. Well, growth, I should say. Massive is probably the wrong term. False. False.
Don't even try.
Okay, so if you remove that, it 100%, it breaks it. Okay, so status menu setup, I think, must be the thing. You know what I'm going to do? Put a really big wait right there, because I want to see if things trigger if I do that. Let's put like a 10-second wait. Where is this command? Usually you have to actually tell it a switch to turn it on and off. But no.
You ready?
As with all problems, you have to identify the problem first, and then you can worry about solving the problem, which, you know, we'll get there eventually.
I sense danger.
I could try a different time of streaming too. Always feels like the first hour is very low viewership. We got to 26 and now it's doing Star Armor. I think it's a timing thing there, and it actually was just taking that long to trigger. WinCon. Alright, WinCon. It makes sense if you were the culprit, because you're the thing I've been working with the most lately, since it handles some of the quests and the like. Okay, let's see.
Are you ready?
Maybe an art stream would be better. I don't know. I do art. We'll see. It'll just be random which days are good.
I sense danger. Don't even try.
That's weird. I hit escape and it did don't even try. That's bizarre. Yeah. Anyway, let's bring this up. Ooh, what's this? What this? Star armor was turned on anyway. So that means that it's not WinCon that does it. What does which page do? I don't even remember. This removes stats. Okay, let's play this game. That's like something for Miranda's thing and not for the other. How much of this code is just backwards garbage? I doubt it's the lights, the screen ripple. Those are old events that have been there for a long time. It seems unlikely they would be the culprit. These are setting variable values. These switches here, status menu on and off probably wouldn't do it. Turning orders and effects off shouldn't do it because that doesn't even mention the event at all. Temporary shield is the thing, I guess. What does temporary shield read? Wait, it doesn't even really do anything. Oh no, I guess it does do something. I think it negates all damage that would be dealt to the player. I think it's on all the events on NPC 4. Or actually, I don't think I even have a thing for temporary shield. Not like that. That's my token for the other thing. That's for the my thumbnail. It was not a good thumbnail. I ran out of time. You can tell by the fact that viewership is much lower. Whenever you have a great thumbnail, the viewership just goes way up. But okay. Or yeah, it just checks that if this is on, otherwise it won't damage the player. So it's not even actually a thing. I guess I can run an additional search for everything there. There's one additional mention somewhere else, but it is in fact in a comment. Okay. I want to do it like this. That's a set value. Actually, a set value 28. Okay, well, if you cast Star Armor, it would, of course, set Star Armor. Well, I have one thing I just removed, so we'll see if that's the cause, this weird side thingy. This is a weird one. This is not how I thought today would go. I thought it would be on to sound effects. That's happened a lot. Like, I've been trying to release the game, and I keep running into these game-breaking bugs. They're not like little bugs where I can just be like, well, that's annoying, but I'll kick it out the door. This is full-on exploit territory. I guess I could remove Star Armor entirely from the game until I fix this problem. But I don't know. I mean, It's already coded in there. I think I'd rather fix the problem and release it than take all the time to remove it.
I sense danger. Don't even try.
Once again, 26 happens. And something is turning that on. Why are there two status menus? Well, it's not running, so we'll double check to make sure it's not running anyway. There's so much going on that's wrong with this. I have it set for 40 to run, which... Well, 26, this is right here, right? Yeah, at 26 it starts happening. At that point, we haven't even run this. So status menu's on. So it runs the else code. Does it run the else code? Okay, well, it's time to see if one of these is causing the problem. Somewhere in this code is something bad going on. I might have to go down the actual common event list and the actual map that I spawn events off of and check their files, their JSON files, to see if there's a mention of 128 in there. Maybe I have to do that anyway. There might be. There's just so many little things that go into each effect. It takes so long. Definitely the least popular stream I've had in a while, but I guess yesterday was far more popular, so...
I sense danger.
Alright, so we do that. Star Armor got turned on anyway. After 26, Star Armor's on. That is bizarre. And then it turned itself off. Because it ran. Well, we have now settled on that it was none of that code that did it. This is just weird wherever this error is coming from. And we know it comes from -1 somewhere.
Are you ready?
Let's see here. Come on.
I sense danger.
Eddie needs a new location for the air here. Oh, 8160. When I hit escape, it does don't even try.
Don't even try.
Yeah.
I need more energy. Don't even try.
That's weird. Is this an issue with buttons? I think this might be an issue with the controls doubling up somehow. This is a bizarre one. This doesn't even do anything. It can go away. I don't care. If I need it later, I'll add it. It's fine. It overwrites it. Maybe someone's getting messed up by that. We'll put that at the bottom. Why didn't I use a real engine?
I sense danger.
It never runs the common event. It also didn't run Ghost Form. It's also now locked in place. Okay, we're just being dumb. It also never ran 27, 28 there. Why is this? I don't know why this isn't just in here. As best I can tell, it should be in here. Why is X not working here? Well, those two, but not the others. I have no idea why the cove is the other way. It doesn't make any sense. All right. Down the rabbit hole to fix this ridiculous problem. I'm going to check the event list and the common event list with just the JSON files for 128.
Are you ready? I sense danger. Don't even try.
Once again, it ran that. That's weird. Hit escape, it ran the Ghost Form common event. That still worked there, but... yeah, it just says like unlimited timer. It's just continuously running in there. Well, actually, I think I just put the thing in an awkward location, but all right. I have a new plan here. This is getting ridiculous. So I don't even have the data files up yet, but I can fix that. I don't usually find much cause to edit these, but here we are. That value, nope, doesn't have anything like that. 128. Here's the parameters. Nice. Status menu portal backup. I don't see any reason I'd want this. So it can go bye-bye. $128. Status menu portal. Plays with 128. Are you the culprit after all this time? Kind of a long event, isn't it? Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. Uh, this is getting stupid. Why does it highlight that? Show more? Code 212 that. And this is event 250. It's way down here. This parameters 128. Well, it's not on this page, right? This portal set up in that would not have it. Plus, it looks like it's near the end anyway. This last page here does not have it. Has to be in here somewhere. Is that one? Where's the other one? That one sets 128 false. Indent 2. Code 212. It also sets to false. Dimension is there. I'm gonna also check one of the location before I get too crazy. That'd be common events. What a nightmare. Oh no, this thing is mentioned all the time. Oh, console log, sure. Sure. What's this? What dis? So 81. Well, it makes sense. 81 would be star armor. Well, we're not concerned about star armor setting itself. But what is 83? Why does 83 set 128? Sure. But 80, Oh, hey, Mossman, how's it going? Oh, glad you can make it to the stream. How's your day going? Oh, pretty good, pretty good. I mean, I spent the last hour and 40 minutes trying to find this particular error, but other than that, pretty good. It's a persistent little bugger. Supposedly, this actually mentions star armor in it. But it shouldn't. But yeah, basically the little star armor spell turns on when you enter the menu, and then it's basically on when you leave it. So you can just enter the menu and turn the spell on. It makes you invulnerable. So, as far as I can tell, there's no reason it should turn on at this point. But basically, when we go into the menu and then go out of the menu to become invulnerable would be pretty game breaking. So, I'm looking for the solution. I don't need ID 128. 156 mentions 128. I don't think it's the Switch it's mentioning. Yeah. Hi, yeah, your mins. How's it going? You're also in time to see me try to solve this ridiculous error that's been bugging me for an hour and 49 minutes. I'm gonna try something here. Yeah, I'm the one making the game. I am the everyman here. Well, thanks, yeah, humans. I definitely hope it turns out to be much cooler than it's turning out right now. It's broken. Yep. I'm the programmer. I am the graphics guy. I'm the unfortunate only tester at the moment because, well, I don't want to hand everyone a broken game to test. I don't record all the sound effects. Those I had to get out of something, and I don't do all the music myself, so I guess I'm not literally the only guy on those.
I sense danger.
Alright, once again trying to discover the location of this stupid error.
Try.
Somehow entering that still causes the problem. Yeah, it takes quite a while. I mean, I like to explain to it as really simple. If you've ever played the peanut butter and jelly sandwich game, where you have to explain to someone exactly how to make a peanut butter and jelly sandwich step by step and you can leave nothing out and they just have to do exactly what you tell them, that's exactly what programming a game is like. The game knows to do nothing. That's it. It's just, if you don't tell it, it doesn't know. You can't assume anything. If say the player bumps into a random object or an enemy bumps into an object, they don't even know what they bumped into. In fact, if you don't tell them, they won't even bump into it at all. They'll just pass right through it like, whatever. So, you basically have to make the whole world. And then put shiny graphics over all the numbers. A lot of times it's kind of fun, though. I mean, you have the ability to make anything. Though there'll be times like this where you're sitting there playing with code trying to figure out what went wrong. And it'll be something incredibly stupid at the end. Most of the time. But this time it's not appearing like that at all. This is some bad news. Code 121. Happens after delete payment. But I think I've worked on this game over about 7 months, though kind of on and off. It wasn't until the last 2 months that I really put a lot of time into it. I guess the first month I worked on it, I did a bunch of time to it because I did it for a game jam. And the first version I released was a broken mess because I aimed for the, aimed for the stars and realized they only had a month to do it, and the stars turned out to be a lot farther away than I thought. Yeah. Anyone's not even in the event anymore. Apparently it is. After delete star armor. Well, it makes sense this one would turn that switch. It's literally the purpose of this event, is to do exactly this, to flip this switch. Alright, we're gonna ghetto this because I'm getting tired of this problem. Let's see, status menu is off. Do this, else turn this dumb switch off. I don't know what's causing this problem, but I think I can just get around it. You never played the peanut butter and sandwich thing? Well, it's a real easy game to play. Like I say, it's literally just one person makes the sandwich and the other person tells them how to do it. And they have to do exactly what you tell them. Like, if you tell them put peanut butter on the, thing, they could do anything. They could grab a handful of... Actually, they won't even open the jar, right? Because they can't. Unless the peanut butter is just sitting there, they can't do anything. You have to actually tell them, take your hand, and scoop the peanut butter or something like that. Or in this case, open the jar of peanut butter with your hand. Take the knife with your hand, or with your other hand, because if you tell them the same hand, they'll drop the peanut jar. Use the knife to scoop the peanut butter out of the jar. Set the jar down. Grab a slice of bread. If it's outside, otherwise you have to tell them to set the thing down and open the package. Then, with the bread in hand, take the knife and spread the peanut butter on top of the bread. Specify that, like, the which side of the bread too you want, because it's how it works with a computer. No assumptions can be made. Yeah, I'm the only one making the game. And how long does it take to make? Depends on the game. The cooler the game, the longer it takes to make, the more you put shiny graphics in, the more jobs you do yourself. It's easy to take years making a game if you want. That's why I was just gonna, make a prototype of this one and release the prototype so people could play it. And then keep adding to it, because otherwise I'll be at this for years. And I mean, the game's not incredibly long at this point. But to give you an idea, I mean, like, I'm making, like, a Diablo style game, and Diablo 4 was made by hundreds of people over multiple years. So when you're one person, one must manage expectations. Oh, I shouldn't have status menus off here. Yeah, if status menu is on, do this else. I think it's hitting random keys, and that's what's messing this up. Like, somehow it's hitting the 7 key. Which I should actually fix that bug. If that is the bug. I'm trying to figure out exactly what's causing this. That's a lot of the problem here is, I wrote all the instructions, so somewhere along the line I wrote the wrong instructions. And the computer's doing the exact peanut butter and jelly example that I just told you. It's doing what I told it. Unfortunately, what I told it was wrong. But with thousands of lines of code, the exact location of where the wrong thing is gets harder to find. So much is just going on in each stage of the process. It's like, this one? No. This one? No.
I sense danger. Don't even try.
There's the 10-second lag that I put in there intentionally. I put it intentionally? Come on. There we go. Our armor did turn on briefly, but now it's still on. It's hitting this event at the same time. Yeah, humans. That's exactly what it is. It's I am the one, the only. I mean, people in chat will suggest ideas. Does that count? And like I say, I didn't make the music and sound effects. I'm just using ones I made there. So technically, that is the only thing I'm not actually doing myself. I'm also the writer too. Oh, okay, well, thanks for stopping by. I'll probably be here another hour or two, you know, as long as people are watching, I'll be hanging out. So if you want to wander back, yep, catch you later, yeah, humans. Bug is so persistent. Ugh. I'm gonna do sound effects all night, and instead I'm just trying to solve this breaking bug. I could take Stararm out of the game, but I hit escape there and it did the ghost form. Which really just says to me that there's a problem with the controls. Escape shouldn't actually be doing ghost form though. Right? E is set to do it. Yeah, it runs the ghost form common event. Okay. And then Star Armor gets turned on. After 27, Star Armor is on. Wow. This is a convoluted mess. I wish I had alcohol handy for this one. I don't usually advocate drinking and programming, but sometimes it would probably be worth it. I guess escape must just be triggering something else. It has to be that stupid plugin. I guess I'm using some other people's plugins, that's true. Oh my god. Status menu 0 happened. Then status menu 0 ran... $28. That's true. So by this point here, it was true. But almost certainly, that's not where the problem is. How about F? Sure. Definitely not the greatest of all streams I've ever had to do. I think it's actually just the issue with this plugin. Ugh, God. I think I'm just gonna need to switch engines soon here at this rate. Poor broken engine, there's so many problems. A lot of problems are just me fixing this dumb crap. I guess it runs on a toaster, but it doesn't matter if it runs like crap.
Danger. Don't even try.
They ran it anyway. What the? My 27 star armor is true. But it's doing this ghost form thingy, and it's not supposed to on escape. Maybe controller's messing it up. I kept that in for the gamepad thingy, but I think it's time to put that one to pasture. Too many systems. This is definitely a low view stream.
You ready?
Need to find people who want to test this, I think.
I sense danger.
Okay. Oh God, did that fix it? No, it didn't. But what it did do is it didn't do the common event for ghost form. But star armor happened right there. Right before 27, every time right before 27. It's something in 0 that's doing it. It makes sense this controller thing was breaking things, so let's just get rid of that crap. That'll fix some of the issue. I guess there was 2 problems. In fact, just get this crap out of here. There will be no more control or anything. I have the buttons assigned. I'll tell people what they are. Okay. So 1 problem down. And then 1 obnoxious problem left. Something by this, I guess. I already have a 26 and everything like that, so we're just gonna have a... We'll start putting characters after it just to see where this problem is. Kind of weird doing it in reverse like this, but that's okay. Ah. Coding streams are the worst because nobody wants to watch a coding stream. 100%. They are so boring. I don't even want to watch a coding stream, even if I'm interested in the coding. To be completely honest, I don't think anyone does. I gotta look into Unreal Engine for this. I should just abandon RM. You have to use too much code. Too boring to watch. And it's too complicated for most people to even follow. They would have to know so much, it's just stupid. I think it's more impressive to people than anything else is really what happens.
Danger.
All right. So what happened was those don't even play. Why didn't those play? "27 played. What a mess. Oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute indeed. Look at that. It runs the 27Es and all that up to that, and then it runs 1 through 14. Star Armor kicks on at that point. And then it runs 27 is true. Huh. Well, I'll probably go another 50 minutes or so, and if nobody is about, I will call it for the night. I don't even know. Alright, well, let's investigate where the 14 ends. Because that's where the problem is happening. Once again, WinCon looks like the culprit. Is it? Oh, there's so many bad things going on, I had no idea. They're all my fault. I failed the peanut butter and jelly example.
Are you ready?
Move around more in this. I kind of want to play with this AI voice recording I've gotten into, but I haven't done it. Also, that's probably running in the background. I probably should stop that. Oh, I have another free voice available. Nice. I guess I'll wait a second. I don't know if it's even messing with the stream. Hopefully it's not. But it could be. Alright, and go ahead and pause that. Fun thing to play with, but I'm not going to mess with it right now. Oh, what am I doing? I legitimately don't care about what else is going on right now. I only care about why this is turning the player invincible. Once again, boom, there it is. Star Armor happened. After 14. Between 14 and 27, it is true. 14 runs this. Say 14F. Why not just afterwards so we know that it reaches that point? I'm not even using 90% of these anyway. It's to be a switch between the two. So I turned WinCon off and it still turns on. So WinCon is not the culprit. But it could take a moment for something to trigger, so... Let me just do this real fast. Let's just go ahead and neg this whole section here. And see if that is where the culprit is. Like, if it's just one of those doing it. Because it's hitting 14 and breaking. So annoying. Normally you'd find an actual location of the switch, but it's Like the code just isn't even there. Let's have old code using the same switch. I don't even know.
Are you ready?
Test this real fast. I'm gonna take a bio break.
I sense danger.
Oops. F8. So what happened during that? Okay, so somewhere in that code of 1 through 14, it actually does flip that switch. Somewhere. At least we've narrowed it down to a location. Okay, I'm gonna take a quick bio break. Game on. All that. No, I'm pretty certain it's somewhere in here. So now we play that game. Let's start with the obvious switches option here. Perhaps one of these switches does something else. I don't know. The code has gotten so complicated at this point. All right. Well, it's pretty much no other way around this. Just hardcore testing is how you do this. The worst of problems. It always sucks when the problem is just some bizarre thing. Nope, not the window button. F8. These problems can just be tedious. False seems good. Goes off and then. Okay, well, Star Armor did not turn on. So we have established that those are the culprits after all this time. It's weird because I remember removing those and not seeing that as a thing, but here we are. Now we've established these switches do weird things. Obviously the console logs are a thing. Alright, so... we'll check the first ones here and just go from there. I guess I'll just break it into small pieces and see which ones are okay. I'll close the whole thing. I think this game would be 1,000 times better in Unreal Engine. I don't really know what I'm doing. I might do Unreal Engine 4 though, because Unreal Engine 5 is just... it just takes forever to do anything. Like, your computer needs to be like insane. My computer is no slouch. Not at all. And yet, Unreal Engine 5 was just like, you want to stream and do this? I'll do it, but I hope you don't mind people waiting for like 5, 6, 7 minutes every time you want to play with cloth simulations. Or this weird issue where if you full screen it, it causes lag in all the menus to the point where it doesn't even move. It's weird. Let's see what this says here. Once again, we go to look for this problem here. Currently it's on false for everything. Okay, so let's jump out of this. One of those two switches is the culprit. Finally, after 2 hours and thousands of lines of code, I have narrowed down the cause of the invincibility bug. Switch 18 and 8. Okay. So we know all those work, so I'm gonna go ahead and just comment out this one and see if it's the other one, and if not, we'll know exactly finally which one it is. Ugh. I know I need to fix the game-breaking bugs, but that was not my goal for the night. Still gotta do sound effects. Won't that be exciting? I guess I had a lot more fun with it when I actually started doing it, so that'll probably be what'll happen. I'll just find it way more fun. Of course, I can't listen to music while I do it. Granted, the music I would listen to if I wasn't on stream would be far different than this music, but I also don't want to be copyrighted to oblivion. So we are stuck with these ones. Yeah. Right. F8 is on. And kick out of it. Alright, so we have established the culprit after all this time. Somewhere, switch 18 is triggering that. Okay, alright. 18. Of course, the 180s would be a thing. Oh, there's so many copies of 18. That switch does not show up. Does that value show up at any point? I do put it in there periodically. Alright. This will not be an easy find. Alright, so what gets turned on by 18? What is 18? It's like status menu off or something? That's disturbing. According to this, it appears in none of the events. Ugh. Jesus. There'll be no cheating on this one. Apparently 18 is a very commonly used thing. I don't even know what 18 is for, but for some reason I seem to use it on the end of every one of these. Enemy array, but that's not a cause for that kind of thing. Yeah, those are all the same. Alright, let's play the status menu here, because maybe somewhere in here array 18 is doing something. Turning it on does something. Because turning it off is fine. As far as I can tell, it seems perfect. And this is the other ghetto one that I'm not using, the victory page. Yeah, I don't care about that. Oof, where could that possibly do something? I don't even know why this is there. Just to double check, nothing is triggered off of 18, right? This could technically do it. It's either an event that turns on when 18 is set, or it's one that's already always running. There aren't many that are always running either. Just a few governing events that handle this kind of stuff. And this one usually just changes the actor picture, so it doesn't really do anything else. Map selector's not being used. Neither with Story Builder, because they're literally just making the actual maps, so they're only used during that. We know what happens before 27. It's right in there during this time, but we know it's just that 18 is on. The buttons don't do anything anymore. My god, what an error. The encounter system could be on. But I don't see any point where it's even checking for that, so it would be weird. Oh, my boss respawn is on all the time. It's weird. Don't run that. I have no idea why that would be on. That seems like it could cause problems. It's creating 41 over and over? What is that even doing? It would create Bugaboo? That seems like an error waiting to happen. What the hell's up with this? Definitely shouldn't be on, though. I guess I'm finding a lot of ridiculous errors before we even get to that point there. This doesn't trigger, so it doesn't matter. Of course, Star Armor would be on. Wait, is that the actual culprit one? No, that's not 18. Oh, there should also be if a status menu is off option 2. There already is. I do if combat's on one, right? I guess I changed it by accident, like an idiot. No casting spells outside of combat. I don't want to have logic in there for dealing with that. That seems nonsensical. Of course, that won't fix this problem here, but it'll just stop from casting it outside of combat. So 18 turning on screws things up somehow. What a nightmare. But 18 does not appear anywhere in any of the menus unless it's in a console command. Which is bizarre. Oh, map events. Is there a map event that's being called in that does it? Oh, God. There's so many. Oh, no. That value? We'll stick with 18 on that one, buddy. Oh my god. Why everything's in codes? And the collider's using them too? Oh my god, what a nightmare. I'm not convinced this is a faster way to do it at all. All of these are governed by, these are the lights for that, and they are governed by the status menu was off. Despawn. What does status menu block do? Does it do anything? Oh. It removes all that. Actually, wait, did I bother to reload? Let me double check that I reloaded all this. I need to go through and just clean this code so badly. Clean it into a UE game instead. UE game. It would be a lot cooler. Now I have way to do voices, so I might not even need to do that. Ugh. Basically the worst is what I'm hearing.
I sense danger.
Okay, all those are related to that. Actually, wait a second. Yeah, let's just do a quick adjust here. Let's just pick a different one entirely. I have no idea what's causing this, and I am not interested in messing with it. My clean status menu. Because if this is all that it is, I don't care what's the problem. I'll just work around it. Maybe solve that mystery another day when I give a crap, but I just want the game to work, and I just blew 2.5 hours trying to solve this ridiculous error. And I'm still not 100% certain what's causing all this stuff, but I don't want to find it. I don't care at this point. It's never going to be found. Well, I mean, it will be, but... Ugh. When in doubt, cheat. I think the painting does not use that. Alright, so now we're turning 33 on and off. That's way easier now that we have an idea of what the actual culprit is. Alright, let's see if this finally fixes the problem after 2 hours, 36 minutes, and 4 seconds. Okay, I did spend the first like 10-15 minutes going over stuff and working on things, so it's not the whole thing, but it's been a while. I did fix some other bugs along the way, so it's not like it was totally worthless, but it feels totally worthless.
Are you ready?
Bring this up.
I sense danger.
No star armor is present. Nice. Menu cleaned up. Star armor is now present. How? I guess using a new switch now. When one of those events is removed, does it add star armor? I guess that'd have to be it, because the only things triggering right now are those. I only changed those events, so at no point can something else be doing it, which means... What does spell menu choice 4 read? Gosh, this is what we call a nightmare. It does run spell descriptions. You're supposed to false all of them though, so it removes the spell picks like that. So what does spell descriptions actually read? Menu description. These are getting self variables. It sets a self variable, but that's not a switch. NPC spell info is a thing. Let me check and see if it sets any switches anywhere in here. It adds and removes things. It does not actually set a single switch unless it's setting one on spell info. Alright. This gets values. Oops, now I just want spell info, I guess. Okay, put one there. I mean, obviously this is going to set it. It's just, it has to be running it somewhere. But we know that that thing, if ran, would set it. Wait. Oh, no. I think I know the culprit, finally. Oh my god, is that really where it's been all along? Was it actually in the spell itself? Holy. What the... Jeez. Jeez. Why didn't I set it here? I think because I wanted to set that to time, right? Don't set that there. Okay, and then we're going to comment it out right here. I think that might be the culprit. The logic is sound now that I think about it for why it would do that. Oh my gosh, I went into the wrong path. Should have started with the spell itself, but I mean, I thought the spell was working. It was only when I was doing something else I didn't realize that by calling the description of how it was set, it was actually triggering Star Armor because I had the switch in there. I think I can still get away with the timer in there.
You ready?
Well, I solved a bunch of weird problems today. They were all things I didn't know were even happening.
I sense danger. Don't even try.
I'll probably change that back to a different one, but that's okay. Star Armor never activated, huh? They're in Star Armor spell info. Yep, that was what was doing it. Thank fucking God. Excuse the language, but after 2 hours and 42 minutes, I feel like I deserve at least one F-bomb on that one. What the... Alright, well, if I trigger Star Armor, does it mess up? Let's do a quick double check here. 7.
Energy.
That looks about right.
Energy. Energy.
What in the world? If I created another error in the process of doing this? Maybe. I get the feeling that I messed something up in doing this. I'm going to put it back to what it was. Rather than try to figure out where the code was that fixed that or did things like that. Like, it's the whole point of this was to solve a problem, but it looks like the problem is solved a different way. Yet it created another problem, but Hopefully this just undoes the problem. I gotta go through and clean up all the crap code now, too. Alright, we changed that, and then we're gonna go change this back here. Because of course. Wrong one. That's... Actually, it looks like I was never turning 33 off. That was actually the other problem there. I guess I screwed that up too. God, these codes can become such a nightmare. And the organization is just awful. I have to put everything in plugins. Alright, well... another 15 minutes. If no one's watching, I'm going to go ahead and call it for the night and just be really sad at how horrible this error was. Making the whole night just eaten up by this monstrosity. Well, if you ever want to see solving an error, the really ridiculous ones,
I sense danger.
I gotta fix all the timing on that. Also, let's just do the full fix right now and get it over with. Added in all these ridiculous weights and console logs, and they don't need to be here anymore. Well, it's just literally there to test it. That's all I wanted to do with it. Doing this always feels like a last-ditch effort of the damned. But it is effective. You will eventually figure out exactly where the information is breaking. You might hate your life in the process, but you'll figure it out. There's no maybe on this one. In time, you will locate the problem. You might lose your sanity on the way, but that's okay. Obviously, if you're doing game dev, sanity is not exactly a requirement. I mean, it's not a good way to make money. It's not particularly something that's in demand due to the huge number of games. It is fun if you're a monster, basically. You're just like, yep, I like working long hours for no money. Then sure, but Or do I care about this one? Am I even keeping this victory event? I don't think I am. We can stay then, because I don't care. Alright, that should get rid of all the stupid console logs. If any luck, this invincibility problem will be done. And I'll be able to get to the rest of what needs to be done. Like I say, I'm going to do what I can to release this by Saturday. I'm done with this ridiculous wait. Like, I may do a bunch of things off stream because, you know, some things I can't really do on stream, such as graphics and things, due to the rendering engine crashing the stream.
I sense danger.
Danger has been sensed. What am I doing? I don't care about any of that. I literally care about this menu. Seemed like it worked pretty good there, didn't it? Or did it? I think that was the other thing there. Oh, Star Armor needs to have a thing there. So we know for a fact that Star Armor was the culprit all along. It really was the friend we made along the way. Only because I did it in a weird way and should standardize everything I do so I don't end up with these weird problems. This is an issue with the teleport thing. It's trying to run well, like right in the middle of doing something. Right, this is the actual culprit. Double check. Whenever you have a problem with JavaScript that wants to do dumb things, just run a try catch. It'll try it. If it fails, it'll catch it and just say, okay, it's fine. You'd think this would just be a standard thing, but no. No. JavaScript can't just do that. You know, that'd be logical. No. Put that try in there and it just vanishes. Do I care about the tarot card array anymore? I don't think so. Puzzle 202. I will clean up everything that's all these dumb console commands. I am trying to actually get this to be a ready state by Saturday, so it like spamming console commands probably doesn't help get to a ready state. Maybe it does, I don't know. Be a little weird, but sure. 225. Guess I'll get rid of this one too. While I'm at it, I'll move this up on the screen so I can see the bottom. If I can scroll over, it might be handy. Possibly. Alright, so status menu 56 still says that too. I put so many console commands in here trying to solve that problem. Entire 2 hours trying to solve this stupid problem. I got it though. Enough duct tape. Elbow grease. Some hopes and dreams shattered. You know, it worked out. Alright, so that solves that issue. Guess I'll load it up again and see if it spawns any more errors.
Are you ready?
my trusty console up here. Oh, that's right, change that key. Let me change that key back really fast. So he's hitting the other key, but I was like, well, maybe this is the problem. Spoiler, it was not the problem. He is far easier to hit, but for this test, I'm just going to go ahead and run with it as it is. Why is there no sound? I didn't mute the sound, did I? Let's check. After all this, I could do with an easy solution of lols, you muted the sound. Everything is set low? Yeah, why not? Let's just have the music rolling. I guess I'll mess with the other ones right now.
Are you ready?
Yeah, it's like they wandered off. That's fair. Never even know with these viewer things, but every once in a while someone shows up for a bit. Oh no, it says concurrent in there. I have 3 different things saying numbers, and they all report different numbers. I have no idea if anyone is watching at any given point. That's okay, I just talk the whole time anyway. Much easier that way. Oh, well, I'm at it.
Boom, baby. Boom, baby. Take cover.
Hmm.
Take cover. Take cover. Don't even try. Lovely. Energy.
It's a little harder to fight now that she actually moves out of the way. I need to move where the name is, though. I don't like where the name is. Maybe just over. It's impossible to center it with how this is set up, because otherwise it'll be off the screen. Oh, I hate that even more. Oof. If I put it below, what'll happen is it'll be sticking off the screen. I can put it right at the same height, I guess. Oh, I hate that setup in general. Some of their names are too big. I guess it can just sit there for now. I have no idea.
Boom, baby.
I'm not really seeing any errors other than the intentional one I'm reporting, but she has way too much health.
Don't even try.
I think I'm gonna have to play it entirely through the game just to see if the prototype works or not.
I wouldn't go there. Don't even try. I need
Stop's not very effective against him anymore.
boom, baby. Boom, baby.
Like, I haven't even moved her life bar. I think she might have a little too much health for the damage there. Or maybe it's not working.
Lovely.
I'm gonna hit her until I see that life bar move. And then probably reduce her hit points by a lot. Still not moving.
Boom, baby.
I think it barely moved. Oh my god, she has infinite health. What's up with this? Oh yeah, it's moving. Maybe it just takes a while to get to that spot there, because now it looks like it's moving a lot.
Boom, baby.
Yeah, now it's like moving a normal amount. So it's just like, I mean, I guess the bar's not very effective. Does it do the top area first? Is it...
Boom,
Huh.
baby. Lovely.
There's no balance to this game. I'll have to figure out some numbers at some point. Everything's just set to 1 at the moment, for the most part. Can she be poisoned? Did it hit her? Yeah, she can be poisoned. Actually, poison's pretty good, because even if they move away, it'll just keep on hitting them. Yeah. I actually inadvertently made poison better. I guess having the console open is probably slowing things down a bit. Yep. I could make the ghost form be the heal and just take the heal spell out. That might be a thing that happens in the future. Also, they managed to destroy that. Whatever.
Boom, baby.
That is not an error I care to fix right now. No. Prototype out first, then fix weird errors like that. I'm just fixing game-breaking errors.
I wouldn't go there.
It does do a lot of damage if it ends just to land. Hitting them for 4 isn't terrible. I mean,
I
in the
wouldn't.
future that'll be some random amount of damage, so. What really got out of them here like 7 times. Well, I want the spell to be good, because if they're stupid enough to stand it, they deserve it. Plus, it pretty much murders all the little dolls, since they don't really dodge things very well.
I need more energy.
She looks like she's almost dead. I almost kind of miss having a number there, but... Okay, that bar is not very accurate. Probably because it's an odd shape. And I just cut the heart out and I thought that that would be a full enough bar, but maybe it needs to actually be just a straight up heart that erases itself over time. But she has a lot of health. Also almost dead.
Lovely, lovely.
Oops. Taking hits for no reason.
Boom, baby.
Got her. Finally. It errored when it was spawning all that crap, but I think. Yeah, it caused an error on the health thing there that caused it to not spawn things, but listen, don't care. It's fine. Once again, the console's open. What's the I can see? It's saying fast. It's good.
Lovely. Congratulations. See you later.
When exiting the painting, it doesn't say anything useful. Seems a little bizarre. I think I need to have this twice, because otherwise it does a weird thing that looks bizarre. Anytime I write anything, I put it in Google Docs just to make certain. All right. It's fine to me. When you first talk to her, it's actually listed as below, I think. Oh, it says that there. Huh. Finally fixed that problem. Oh my god. What a monster. All right, well, I think I'm going to call it for tonight because whenever there's no one watching after 3 hours, if I'm not just super into it, might as well save that streaming time for a time when people are watching. I get that I probably would get more people if I kept streaming. There's an argument for streaming even a different time, honestly. I don't even know. Anyway, I'm going to bid everyone adieu. Switch to the ending screen there. I really just have a little bit left to do involving story and dialogue and some sound effects. I'm going to try to get this out by Saturday. I keep saying that, and it's just, I just need to set it. This is where it's going out just to test it because it's just taking forever and ever, and I keep finding things to add, and it's just never going to end if I go down that route. But once I take that first step of kicking it out the door, it'll change a lot of how I view things. Like, because it'll be easy to just keep updating it, and that will really help, I think, potentially. Or just show me that the idea is a terrible one, and I can just drop it for something better, you know? I don't know. Anyway, have a wonderful night, evening, morning, or whatever it is for you. This is Imaginary Villain signing out. Later.